It's all hypothetical.
As far as ISUPK go, man, like the whole Israelite camp, for the people who don't know, who just feel like y'all just some people who stand out there, because I done been with people not light up when I see my brothers out there. I'm like, man, that them niggas who be yelling at everybody talking. Can you really break down and explain what ISUPK stands for? Like, why y'all on the corner doing this? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all so aggressive with it? Or, you know, why y'all handle things the way that y'all handle it? Just so they
Definitely. I think, so ISUPK stands for Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Our leader is Commander Jenny Hunter. He's in charge of that organization. And so it was established based on the original founding members reading the Bible, which we all had in the house. And as they're reading the Bible, they're reading scriptures in the Bible. And as they're reading, there's a scripture, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the greatest one of the greatest questions or enigmas is, what is black people's identity? Like, when you ask black people who they are, usually it's their religion that they identify by. They'll say, well, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Methodist, I'm Baptist. When that's not really your ethnicity. When you ask white people, they'll say, I'm Irish, or I'm from Scotland, or something like that. So as they're reading the Bible, they're reading verses that will say, you would be brought into Egypt again with ships, which is slavery. And so now we get an inkling of, or earmark of, how did we get over here? We came over here on cargo slave ships. Then as we start reading more of the Bible, we see that the Israelites was black. In Song of Solomon 1:5, it says, I am black but comely, which is mean I am black but beautiful. So now King Solomon is calling himself black. That's us. So as we start, I broke down Acts 13:1 with the word nigger or niger, which means black, which is what they call us today. So all these different identifying marks, we start taking this information and then going out into the street. And when you out into the street, and if you see the oppression of black people, if you're not angry about it, I'll be feeling like there's something wrong with you. Like, if we see all the broken homes, if we see what drugs has done, what gangs has done, what abortions has done, now with what the community has done, there has to be somebody that can deliver information that heals this nation. And so when you see us out there aggressive, another scripture says oppression makes a wise man mad. So now we take this wisdom that we got within the Bible, and now we got to go out and teach on the street corner. So like y'all see in this environment, y'all don't see me yelling at y'all. It's not necessary for me to yell or project my voice because we're in a room having a conversation. When we're on the street corners, Isaiah 58:1 says, cry aloud, spare not, meaning you have to point out our people, our condition, our identity, how we get out of it. So when people say you're yelling, they're not wrong for saying that we're yelling, but we have to project that voice out so we can tell people this is who we are. Our disobedience to God is why we're in that condition that we're in. Like, if God is our Father and all of us believe in God, Christ said, our Father which art in heaven. So if God is your Father gave you laws you're supposed to live by. And your Father told you, if you live by these laws, I will give the best to you. I will put you on top. You will be above all nations. But if you disobey these laws, you'll be punished for disobeying your Father. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have disobeyed our Father, and we're seeing the punishment. And it's just now, as simple as I'm saying it, the ramifications make it not that simple. But if we were to be obedient to the Father that we love, we would then be blessed and we wouldn't be in this condition. So that's why we have to speak in the fashion that we have to speak. And then people come and challenge us because the Bible is something that, you know, a lot of cats think like if you believe in the Bible, you soft. A lot of cats think it's a white man's book. A lot of cats think a lot of things about the Bible. So now sometimes people come up against us at the camp. We call it a camp when we out there speaking. So now you got cats that come up in there and say, your Bible is trash. We should be following this. We should be following that. And so we built for the battle. Like, we don't mind if you want to come and battle with information. That's what I do. I'm known for that. Like, if you was to search me on YouTube, yes, you would see that I've battled since 2013 and whooped everybody ass. Facts. Like, if this was battle rap, I would be like Sue Surf, like Loaded Lux or something like that. Like, facts. And so now why you got to do that? Because if they can beat you on the Bible, then everything that we stand for is trash. But if I can beat you on your information, then everything that you stand for is trash. Now, if he was to beat me, I would follow him. If he could tell me that not believing in the Bible, we should believe in this, and this is our identity, this is our right way, I would follow that. But if we can dominate, then we win. So now when we go out on the street corners, that's why we're aggressive. That's why we're loud. The reason why it comes across as an offense, because they're used to a docile black man.
Yeah.
The black man is, listen, Martin Luther King was like a sissy. Now, a lot of people gonna get offended by that, but let me tell you what I mean. Not a sissy in the sense. Let me get it out. Not a sissy in the sense of being able to organize men together. That takes courage. Not a sissy in the sense of marching on Washington. That takes courage. But the message he was sending sissified us. The message was, don't fight. The message was, be nonviolent. When every race, every man or every human has a right to defend themselves. And you do not want to send a message that if we get harmed by a people, we're supposed to forgive them right away. If there was reciprocity in the forgiveness, then maybe I could understand. But there's never been reciprocity. And Martin Luther King said a statement. He said, what I'm doing is leading us into a burning building. So if Martin Luther King says he's leading us into a burning house, you don't go into a burning house to live. You go into a burning house to die. It's fire, the gas, all of that is going to kill you. So even he knew his message was wrong. But since that time, if you go out there and call out these governments or these enemies for things that they do and you do it aggressively, you know what they say? You got to do it like Martin Luther King. He was all about love. He was all about peace. But when them towers fell,
and they killed.
Think about examples. So like when them towers fell 9/11, right? Like 3,000 people died, right? 3,000 Americans, something like that died. And in the name of that, the white military went over to Palestine and Afghanistan and slaughtered millions of people that had nothing to do with 9/11. You know why? Because American lives matter that much. And when they finally so-called killed Osama bin Laden, you know what America said? I can finally sleep. You know who's not been allowed to get relief from their oppressor is us. Even Jewish people, when that Holocaust was over, they said, man, we can't leave them Jewish people in Germany. We got to take them out of Germany. They cannot be around the people that was oppressing them. And they divided Palestine in half, put a people there that was not those people so they could be relieved of what they went through. What do we get when they so-called freed us from slavery? They call sharecroppers, but now you get to just farm the land that you was already a slave on and not even get the benefit of it. And then when we did build stuff, the best time for black people was segregation. Because during segregation is when we built all them cities y'all talk about. Black Wall Street, Paradise in Detroit. You got Seneca Village in New York. You got cities in D.C. All that is built at a time when Jim Crow was enacted, 13th Amendment is enacted. All of these things are enacted at a time where you think we should fall. But we rise up. And that's the greatest threat to America, that in 40 years removed from slavery, we building the greatest thing within their empire. And that's what makes us a threat, because now they don't have the cattle that they once had, because that's what we are. We're cattle. We pull the plow of America. You know how they say America runs on Duncan? America runs on niggas. We build everything and we do everything. Our financial money runs this place. We don't never get paid and say, after we pay our bills, we don't never say, let me support these black businesses. Let me build up this black economy. That's why Atlanta is special. Like, y'all special right now because y'all got all these black people coming down here, these black entertainers and stuff like that coming down here to resurrect something that we ain't really seen since segregation. And that's a threat. So now what do they got to do? They got to convince some uppity rich leaders to say integration is better. So then we go through integrating schools. When you integrate the school, now we don't get black education no more. You get their education. It used to be math is universal. Math is like the one thing that's universal. But now we don't learn our history. We don't learn our English. We don't learn a job. Samuel L. Jackson did this video where he said in his community, they went to school based on what was going to be their trade. And they would know the teacher, they would know the principal, they would know XYZ. When Brown versus Board of Education came out and they integrated the schools, Now you don't learn black education. There's nobody that caters to you. That Negro League, you know, we was talking about Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson. The Negro League is another thing. The Negro League was the greatest thing. If you think about a baseball team, what's Atlanta Braves down here, right? So Atlanta Braves, if you go to a Braves game, right, you're going to get hungry, so you're buying the food there. Those are vendors that you're buying from. You're buying the drinks there. That's another vendor you're buying from. You're buying the Braves jerseys, the memorabilia, that's another vendor you're buying from. So imagine them St. Louis Monarchs. When you go to the St. Louis Monarchs and see them play, when you get hungry, you patronizing the black business. When you drink,
Mr. Earl Rib sandwich. Ain't nothing like a Mr.
There you
Earl.
go. The Earl Ribs, and Earl Rib is famous, got the best sandwich on the planet. But then you got Jackie Robinson, who said, I don't want to hit the black baseball, I want to hit the white baseball. Right. And when you look up, R.A. Dickey, who was the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, said specifically that he was going to use integration to destroy the Negro League, because he said if we fought them on taking the best players, he would say, then you want to get integrated? Right. And you know how it was about destroying the Negro Leagues? When the ABA merged with the NBA, they kept ABA teams.
Yeah.
They didn't get rid of all the ABA teams.
Yeah,
they kept
about
them.
5 on them.
The Negro League, all of them gone. Because it's about destroying our infrastructure. And so now we're totally dependent on America. Right. There's nothing. So Israelites, we upset about that. So we're not upset from like an emotional standpoint where if I see a white guy or African guy, I'm cussing them out, or I can't open the door or do business. My business is body butter business. I work with Africans, whites, Arabs, all kind of people to get their product to make their business. So it's not like that. But we do point out the problems that they have, and we don't give our love to them. We give our love to y'all. And so we go to all of the communities in Atlanta and North Carolina. We go into a project in North Carolina next week, right? We going to this project in North Carolina that asked us to come back because we went to this. What's the name of the project, Akkad? McDougal Projects in North Carolina. We was in there in April. We did a food drive. They didn't even know we was coming. So we come there with food and clothes, bring them everything, and they contact us and ask us to come back. So they talk about the Israelites and we mad and angry. We are mad and angry because black families are destroyed. Communities are destroyed. And we wanted to get cleaned up. You know when they clean up a neighborhood? When white folk want to move in. When they want to destroy a neighborhood, like they always make it seem like the community is supposed to take care of the neighborhood. That's a lie. It's not the community's job to police the neighborhood. It's the police job to police the neighborhood. That's what they're paid for. But when they want the community to go to trash, the police turn a blind eye to the drug dealers. The police turn a blind eye to the abuse until the quality of life in that area goes down enough to where the white people can come up there and buy up all the real estate, get it real cheap. And then now you know what, all of a sudden, police know how to police now. They know how to lock people up. They know how to arrest people. They know how to control the neighborhood. And so that's what we're angry about. And people need to hear that part. I'm glad you asked that question, because people need to hear that part about what we're doing, because all they do is put us on the thing and they say, oh, they just yelling, they call the white man a devil, they doing all of this, as if the white man ain't deceiving. As if if somebody could point out the lie that we say about white people, I'll stop saying it. Dead ass. We went to court in 2014 in Philadelphia. Liberty Place took us to court. They playing our videos, right? So they playing our videos in court. It's a white woman, Jewish judge. They playing the video. This brother is talking about all of this crap about white people, what he want to happen to them, reading the Bible and everything. And even in court, they said we was right for what we were saying because it was coming from the Bible. So it might seem like we angry, which we are, but there's nobody that's going to love black people greater than us, because we'll give you identity and we'll give you brotherhood. That's what we'll give you. So appreciate the question. Yeah. And this is my man right here. Like, what I like, if I could, about Moneybag, Moneybag did this skit. So I was always following Moneybag just like I was following y'all. Moneybag, you did that skit about when the woman said, "What? How you know God is a woman? I mean, a man. How you know God ain't a woman?" And that shit said, "Lost ass nigga." That shit was fucking funny as hell. And you start, and you read what impressed me was that you knew the scriptures. Because I'm not knowing that you as an Israelite. I'm just watching you as a comedian. And so when you bust down and you bust the scripture, Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. I contacted you, and then you build connections just like that. And so that's how I linked up with him. And that's how being an Israelite, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. And you have to make sure you carry and conduct yourself in that fashion. Because if anybody saw me out here with a white woman smoking weed, selling drugs, it'd be like, that shit Captain Tazaryach talk about, that's trash. You know what I mean? So I have to.
But if they saw me do it,
it's different.
Stand on business.
Well, as an Israelite, I stand on the business. No, that's fine. So that's just to answer the question. That's what we about. Like, we about fixing the condition of blacks and Hispanics and giving them identity first. Because an identity, when you say somebody, if you say you're an Israelite, or let's say if you say you Chinese, right? If somebody found out that they're Chinese, you're gonna go into, well, what is the Chinese culture? They got what, the Buddha? Is it Buddha? So they got Buddha. So you're going to look for this fat guy, which that's not even Buddha. That's just who Buddha worship, right? So you're going out looking for this fat guy. You're going into what they eat, what they celebrate. So now when you find out you're an Israelite, you're going to find out, okay, if I'm an Israelite, what do we celebrate? What do we eat? Who are we supposed to love? Who are we supposed to marry? How are we supposed to live? How are we supposed to conduct ourselves? And it's all in that Bible. Your pastor told you God's law was done away with, which is insane to me, because the only thing the law ain't done away with is that tithe, that 10%. That still stand. Yeah, but you can do whatever you want. What father, what God that you serve would ever say that you don't have to do what I told you to do? Even us as parents would never tell our children, you don't have to do what I say. But for some reason, the church teach you that God don't care what you do.
Just repent, you be all right.
Yeah.
Say forgive me.
Yeah, say forgive me.
Yeah. You can do that. You can do that a million times.
Yeah,
Right before you die.
Yeah.
Please forgive me.
I used to think that too. I'm gonna just say, God forgive me right before I die.
Yeah.
That don't even make sense.
Might not get it out.
Yeah. What if you can't talk?
Oh man, hold on, man. Look.
you better think that shit.
You ain't gotta
Talk to him in the mind.
Right.
Talk to him with the mental.
I thought he was gonna say it. He didn't get to say it, so
You gotta say the word, buddy.
you gotta say it.
Y'all go through a lot of crazy shit. Like I said, I've been watching y'all for years, man. Like,